It's been ages. It's been ages since the last direct. I'm kidding, it's been 5. Well, that does feel like ages. 5 months. It's been 5 months since the last regular Nintendo Direct we got in September of 2018. We got a Smash one in November, but that was a Smash specific Direct, not a regular, normal Nintendo Direct. So, you could kind of argue that we have been in kind of a drought. It makes sense, because I feel like it was probably scheduled the Direct that's coming tomorrow for January, but ever since Prime 4 got announced to be delayed and restarting development, they probably had to reschedule it for this month. What's going on, guys? SuperMarioT is here, and we're going to talk about this upcoming Direct. We're getting a new Nintendo Direct tomorrow, February 13th, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. I have a class during the Direct, so unfortunately my reaction and timing to when I watch it is going to be late. Damn it, but what can you do? It's college. God, I can't wait to get out. Well, that's not for a while. Let's just talk about this Direct. It's going to be 35 minutes long, roughly 35 minutes long, and it's going to give a highlight on Fire Emblem 3 Houses. So, before we get to all of that, let me just highlight that there's no mention of 3DS here. There's no mention of 3DS at all. You would usually get a small bit of 3DS if they were going to talk about the 3DS in these Directs. So this is telling me I think they're done with the 3DS. There may be one more, maybe 2 more games they plan on releasing sometime this year. I don't know. I don't care. I think they're done. Because the recent releases on the 3DS haven't sold that well. Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story on the 3DS has become one of the worst selling Mario games to date. So around 300,000 copies, and for Mario and for the 3DS, that's very bad. That's very bad. And games before that didn't sell that good either. Metroid, Samus Returns, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. I don't even think Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn sold all that well. So I could see the argument where people are we're getting more games on a cheaper system, it's easier to access, sure. But I just want all the resources and development stuff going to the Switch. I don't think we need a 3DS or another handheld anymore, since the Switch is already a handheld hybrid. I love the 3DS, but it's served its time. I'm of the camp that the 3DS should die. I think I don't care about the 3DS anymore. I love it, but like my DS, it doesn't make games anymore. Just like the Wii, just like the Wii U, just like the GameCube. I love those systems, but you gotta know when to give up on them and move on to something new. Move on to new technology. I hope this means the 3DS is done, because I just want to see games on my Switch. I want them to pour all the resources into a single system, because that will honestly benefit them and consumers in the long run, since we'll have a plethora of more games to deal with. We don't have to constantly jump back and forth between 2 different systems at once. So, now that that's out of the way, let's actually talk about what they're going to talk about in this Direct, which they're going to start off this Direct with gameplay for Joker, along with the stage and music, and they're going to reveal a release date for him. We haven't seen anything of the dude since his announcement at the Game Awards 2 months ago, and considering Piranha Plant was released a couple of weeks ago, I feel like it's reasonable to expect Joker gameplay is coming in this Direct. We're gonna get a reveal for Joker, we're gonna get a release date, and I do think we're gonna get a port of Persona 5 by the end of that. Cause Persona 5 is a huge ass game. The announcement was huge as hell, and as it stands right now, Persona 5 is a PlayStation exclusive. Persona Q2 released on the 3DS a while ago. Joker appeared there, so there is some leeway with him appearing on the Nintendo system and getting into Smash Brothers. But Persona 5 was a contender for Game of the Year 2 years ago. That's a huge game, and it's beloved by so many different people. You think they're going to want to put that on Nintendo platforms, or the Switch specifically, especially since Joker's going to appear in Smash. Smash is built as a marketing campaign, and you'd think they would want to capitalize on that by putting Persona 5 on the Switch. I just think it's most likely going to happen. And before this announcement came, I forget who specifically, but there was a guy on Resetera spread a rumor that this Direct was going to be announced on this specific day, and he said that Fire Emblem 3 Houses, well, I don't know about that, but he said Metroid Prime Trilogy, Pikmin 3, 2D Zelda, and Mario Maker 2 were coming to this Direct and to the Switch in this whole Direct. I'll get to the other stuff he predicted or rumored in that rumor, but first off, let's talk Metroid Prime Trilogy, because after them announcing Prime 4 was restarting development, it'd be asinine to not expect a Prime Trilogy at this point. Because I don't think there's any reason for them to not do it. It makes sense for them to restart development. If they weren't satisfied with how the game was holding up during development there, then good. The fact that they're restarting development, the fact that they had to announce that, the fact that they're so transparent about that, like the transparency is what's commendable about Nintendo with restarting Metroid Prime 4's development. The question begs, if they didn't announce this at E3 2 years ago, like, how will we know Metroid Prime 4 was being made? It could have not been made at all. So the fact that they had to announce that and let Metroid fans know that Metroid Prime is going to come a lot later, you're going to want to hamper your expectations for that. It's commendable that they were transparent with them. But you cannot deny there's a plethora of Metroid fans that were just aching because they had no new Metroid news for a year and a half up until that point. And the next point of news they knew, they had to wait even longer, like a lot longer. So you would think they would alleviate that by releasing a Metroid Prime Trilogy. Not just for those fans, but also for people who don't know much about Metroid, haven't played the Metroid Prime games and want to get into it. They would be able to play the Prime Trilogy on the Switch. Because there are plenty of fans who just got into Metroid who want to play them just because of the hype. Just because of the fact that people have been begging for Metroid to go back to its roots in Prime, as we're seeing, hopefully seeing in Prime 4. So it just makes a lot of sense. And you can tell how salty Metroid fans will be if they didn't announce. Well, I don't know how. Well, there would be salty fans, but I don't know how many salty fans. It just seems way too reasonable for them to make a Prime Trilogy that it would just be like brutal if they didn't announce it at the latest E3. But like, I don't know. It just seems like it was something they would have to do. You know? It'll be disappointing if it doesn't happen, sure. But like, there's always the chance it'll come up later, and they'll release the trilogy closer to the release of Prime 4, just so people will actually, like, be closer to, I don't know. I really don't know. I just feel like a Metroid Prime Trilogy is coming. And, oh yeah, he also mentioned the possibility of a Pikmin. Yeah, because there's plenty of Pikmin. Oh my god. You could probably use that as an insult for Pikmin fans. But a Pikmin 3 port is coming to the Switch. Or so he says. But honestly, that sounds like something that's probably going to happen. Seeing New Super Mario Bros. U came to the Switch, seeing how many other ports we got from Wii U coming to the Switch, and considering the state that Pikmin fans are in right now, because of like the whole, like, we finished development of a new Pikmin game in 2015, and like there are people who are saying that like, oh wait, no, that was Hey Pikmin, but like they reconfirmed they were developing Pikmin 4 at a later point. So something tells me they're still developing Pikmin 4, or like they're almost done. I don't know, the whole Pikmin thing is so confusing, but I would not be surprised if they announced the port of Pikmin 3, because we already have so many ports of Wii U games on the Switch, and I don't know how long it's going to be until the next Pikmin game, so I feel like that we're going to get another port of a Wii U game, this one being Pikmin 3. Game's probably great, but we're going to have to deal with the whole, oh, it's $60 all over again, and there's going to be plenty of people treating it like it's a brand new experience for everyone, not just for the people who didn't get to play it on Wii U, even though it sold over 1 million copies, so it was a successful title. You can tell I'm of the camp that I'm not all for ports, especially if people are going to act like these are brand new games. Like, bitch, I got New Super Mario Bros. U, excuse my language there, but I got New Super Mario Bros. U like 6 to 7 years ago on my Wii U. I don't need to buy that shit again on my Switch. It's literally the same game. Same case for Tropical Freeze. But yeah, Pikmin 3 port, probably gonna happen. Here's one of my own predictions that I think will actually happen. They're gonna bring up the Nintendo Switch Online service. I feel like they're gonna address either its quality or how people aren't satisfied with how it's doing things. Either way, I think they're gonna announce SNES games are coming to the service, and that'll be it. If they announce more coming to the service, I'll genuinely be shocked. If it's good, I'll even be more pleasantly surprised, but I feel like they're just gonna announce SNES games are coming to the service. And we all know damn well it's not gonna be enough. Because the service still is ridden with lag. Like, input lag is the biggest enemy for a lot of online players in Smash. No one gives a shit about NES games. This service has less than, like, all the other online services, the eShop, well, kind of the eShop, but like there's no virtual console or anything. Can we just see, I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but Nintendo, I don't give a shit if you say you're not bringing Virtual Console. That's the one thing everyone wants from this service. That's the one thing people want from this service. Like, whether it's called Virtual Console or not, can you just put, like, the whole Virtual Console library onto the Switch? The Wii Shop channel's dead. We want to play N64 and GameCube games. GameCube games especially, Nintendo, I don't care if you're going to remaster them, can we at least play them on the Switch online? Because that would be a really good incentive for us to buy your program, or at least put up with it, because there's still plenty of people who are bitching about it, for good reason I might add, but there's still people complaining that your service isn't that good, or justified with the price point, even if it's cheap. I expect them to announce just SNES games, but if they announce more than that, I'll be shocked. The guy also mentioned the Mario Maker 2. To add on to this, I forget who specifically, and this specific person's art style as well, but there was some dude who was interested in the next 2D Mario game taking the form of one of the art directors or one of the artists at Nintendo, like that specific person's art style. Like, you know the 2D artwork you get from certain characters in Mario? Like, most Mario games do this. Like, you have certain artwork, certain characters. There's some promotional artwork where Mario characters look like this. Oh, I know. Think of the 1-year Super Mario Odyssey anniversary artwork where Mario, Luigi, Peach, Bowser, and Pauline were all celebrating in this 2D hand-drawn art style. Like that specific art style. Some guy was interested in the next 2D Mario taking that form. Something like Wario Land Shake It. And I doubt Mario Maker 2 would have that specific art style. But if we were to get a new Super Mario Bros. Game in that art style, that's the step in the right direction for the series, because that would be a gorgeous ass Mario game. Because Wario Land Shake It, even on the Wii, looks absolutely insanely good. Like, I need to play that game first off, but I've seen how that game functions and works for a while now. And to see a Mario game look like that would look so cool. That would be a good step in the right direction for 2D Mario. That being said, I doubt Mario Maker 2 would have that. It would probably just have more themes, slopes, more elements to integrate into the levels. But I think Mario Maker 2 sounds plausible. I know we just got New Super Mario Bros. U. On one hand, the fact that we already got a New Super Mario Bros. Game on the Switch could kind of make the point of having another quote-unquote 2D Mario game on the Switch be redundant, because we already have one. Then again, it's Mario Maker. It's more than just one Mario game with an infinite amount of levels people can make. So, I don't know. It seems reasonable to think Mario Maker 2 would come at this point. Because, you know, it's weird, because for some reason, I don't know if people are just putting on a face for this game, but it seems like New Super Mario Bros. U is enough for some people, but like, it's still the same game on Wii U. I don't know. There's not much reason for me to back this up, but I feel like Super Mario Maker 2 seems reasonable. I'm all for a sequel than just a port. I think Mario Maker is one of the few ports I'd be okay with coming to the Switch, but if there's a sequel, that's just even more hype. Because Mario Maker deserves to be on the Switch. It was one of the most acclaimed games. I don't know if it sold well on the Wii U. It probably did sell well. Lots of people love Mario Maker. It was one of basically the best games on the Wii U. It at least utilized the gamepad a lot more than other games in an efficient manner. But that's another thing. How would you edit? Well, you could probably edit levels without the need of the gamepad. It will probably be a little bit more monotonous, but if we get a Mario Maker on the Switch, it'll do gangbusters, and it'll probably be better than the first one if they just expand more and more upon it, add more themes, elements, and slopes. And next up, the guy also mentioned a new 2D Zelda, and it's been a while since we had Breath of the Wild, so this is another thing that sounds reasonable to expect, because I think the Switch is probably due for a 2D Zelda. I hear 2D Zeldas, top-down Zeldas, are fun games, and this would probably be a really good Zelda game for fans of top-down 2D Zeldas and or fans who are just waiting for the next Zelda game and they have this new one to hold them over. It seems right for a 2D Zelda to come onto the Switch. It's been like roughly 3 years or 4 years since the last one. I think Triforce Heroes was the last one. New 2D Zelda probably seems likely. Yoshi's Crafted World comes out the end of next month, so it's almost a guarantee it'll probably be brought up. Just to remind people, don't forget, we have a new Yoshi game coming out very soon. You should probably pick that up if you're a fan of Yoshi or platformers, especially since Yoshi's Woolly World was apparently one of the best platformers on the Wii U. So yeah, that's probably going to happen. Animal Crossing for Switch. That seems like a safe bet, to be honest. Like, that sounds like a summer game to me. Like, Animal Crossing is huge, but it would probably do well in the holidays, but it doesn't sound like one of those big Nintendo titles that they would put out during the holidays. I think they're going to save that spot for Pokemon. I don't think Pokemon's going to pop up in this Direct. I think they're going to save that for close to E3, but I think Animal Crossing's probably going to make an appearance. I don't know what to expect because I don't play Animal Crossing, but I do have one bold prediction. We're not just going to get Mario Maker 2. I think we're going to get a new Mario Strikers game. Because a few reasons for this. Mario Strikers lends itself to the Switch very well, much better than other Mario sports games in my opinion do. And it's been over a decade since the last Mario Strikers game. It's been a long ass time. Actually, there is one piece of evidence that goes against this, because Next Level Games makes the Mario Strikers games. But they also made Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and it seems like they're making Luigi's Mansion 3. But how big is Next Level Games? Could they develop 2 games at Okay. Okay, you know what? Oh, man. See, I was so confident in this, but I completely forgot that Luigi's Mansion 3. Damn it. Honestly, I really wish Mario Strikers came back. Because that was probably my favorite Mario sports game. That's honestly one of the most hardcore Mario games you're ever going to play. It's a really fun Mario soccer game. You just have to play it to really experience Mario Strikers. It's more than just a watching game. Man, I was so confident too. Now I have to... Damn it. If I'm wrong, I'm going to be pissed. But I'll be happy that it's coming, but I'll be pissed. They're probably going to throw in some indies and third parties here and there. I can't think of any that I would know, so... Oh, actually, I got one. I got one indie in particular. Because, yeah, it was Lab Zero. Okay. They announced, like, months ago Skullgirls was coming to the Switch, and we haven't heard anything since, like... I think it was, like, half a year ago at this point. It's been a while since they announced Skullgirls was coming to Switch. So, I'm gonna say they're gonna announce Skullgirls in this Direct. And I hope they release it soon. Because I was waiting for Skullgirls to come to the Switch. I like Skullgirls, in case you haven't noticed. It's a really fun fighter, so hopefully it gets thrown in there. Oh, here's one. I think the Final Fantasy ports are going to be shadow released. They're not only going to like go over, oh yeah, we announced some Final Fantasy games are coming to the Switch. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII can be downloaded right now. At least Final Fantasy VII is going to be downloaded by the end of the Direct. I don't know about the other ones. The other ones seem likely because they're old games as well, but I think they're going to stealth drop Final Fantasy VII, and there's a chance they're going to stealth drop Final Fantasy 8, 10, and 10 too. Because they said the Final Fantasy games were coming in 2019, but they didn't give a specific date. I think now seems like a reasonable time. They wouldn't have to use that many resources to bring those games over, since they're already made and done. It's essentially the same as putting a game on Virtual Console, I'd imagine. And let's talk Fire Emblem Three Houses, since that's going to be the big focus. I don't know where exactly they're going to put this in the Direct, but something tells me they're going to put it at the end, and as much as I want them to not put that much time into Fire Emblem Three Houses and put more time into other games, I feel like they're going to put like roughly 8 to 9 minutes into the Fire Emblem Three Houses portion. I could be wrong. They might do what they did with the Mario Tennis bit in that one Direct last year. Like Mario Tennis Aces was one of the focuses in that one Direct, and it lasted like 5-6 minutes. They had more than one focus there, but they're making it sound like Fire Emblem Three Houses is going to be a major focus in this one, so something tells me it's going to take up, like, not 10 minutes, but almost 10 minutes, which, I mean, Fire Emblem is getting bigger, so it makes sense. Lots of people are excited for Fire Emblem. It's going to be one of their big staple first-party games of this year, but something tells me, not much reason behind this, but I think they're going to delay Fire Emblem Three Houses, and it's not going to release this spring. It's probably going to release early fall. I want to say early fall. We haven't heard anything on Fire Emblem Three Houses since, like, last E3. So something tells me they're trying to get more of that game finished, or maybe they're just not revealing as much for the public to know. I don't know. Something tells me they're going to release it in the fall. I could be wrong. I don't know much about Fire Emblem, so you can take my words with a grain of salt, so I don't know. But I feel like they're going to save it for the end. And they're going to save a reveal for a Smash Ultimate DLC character for the end. And there are 3 choices I'm thinking of right now. One, which is one a lot of people have been bringing up, is Erdrick from Dragon Quest, because the codenames found in the files for Smash Ultimate, Jack and Brave, removed with this recent update that added Piranha Plant. Jack was Joker. Lots of people have, like, boiled down that Brave most likely meant Erdrick from Dragon Quest, which makes sense. Dragon Quest is literally the biggest thing in Japan, So it's definitely popular. It's made a bigger presence in Japan, not so much internationally, but like you've seen Sakurai cater more to the Japanese crowd with some of these Smash character add-ons, other than Fire Emblem. So Erdrick does make sense, and I think there is plenty of potential for a moveset, probably Dragon Quest music and a song. But I have two other options here. One is Edelgard, that chick from Fire Emblem. I forget what weapon she uses. It's either an axe or a sword. I have people telling me in my comments in my DLC video that it's one or the other, and I get confused because I don't play this series. I just know she doesn't use a sword. I hope she doesn't use a sword. But I say Edelgard because Fire Emblem Three Houses is the biggest focus in this direct. And they used Isabelle to reveal in Smash as like a bounce spring to announce Animal Crossing later and tease it. So something tells me they could do something super similar here and announce Edelgard from Fire Emblem Three Houses is going to be a new character in Smash via DLC. And I know a lot of people are going to be salty because it's another Fire Emblem character, but you know Nintendo and Sakurai love their Fire Emblem in Smash. Like, we have more Fire Emblem characters in Smash than Zelda now, so... The third character, this is one I'm going to get heat for. I think there's a shot that Sora could be announced. Okay, now I'm about to hop back into my old DLC prediction video, because like I mentioned the whole rule thing, the generic enemy thing, this character doesn't have much association with Nintendo and all that shit. People love to make up on their own and act like Sakurai said it himself, even though Kingdom Hearts has been on Nintendo systems before. All they would have to do is get the rights from Disney, and considering Thanos is a character Disney essentially owns, and Thanos is in Fortnite, I doubt Disney would care that much about their intellectual property being in Smash. If anything, that would boost them up a lot more in sales and recognition, even though Disney's like one of the biggest companies out there. But Sora and Smash, like, again, they would just have to get the rights from Disney, because they're buddy-buddy with Square Enix. We already have Cloud and Smash Bros., and I think Sora has a better shot. Like, he will probably be, like, one of the biggest additions to Smash, arguably bigger than Joker, because Kingdom Hearts is super freaking huge. Kingdom Hearts 3 just came out. It's getting raving in reviews, and it would go right with its release. It would give Kingdom Hearts, like, a big marketing boost as well. Sora would probably fit right at home in Smash Bros. And he technically wouldn't have a sword, he'd just have a giant key. He'd have Game & Watch's down air, but like, I don't get where people come from and be like, Sora will never happen! What the F? What the F is wrong with you? I literally choked while saying that. Excuse me there. But like, people are so sure that X or Y character isn't gonna make it, and they act like Sakurai himself said it, or like it's official from a Nintendo executive, that like it's a rule or guideline that people will follow. Like they know what the DLC is gonna be, and you're an idiot and you're ignorant and stupid for thinking otherwise. Yet we literally have absolutely no idea what this DLC is gonna entail. Even with Joker, like we have no idea what the other DLC characters are gonna be. Like, you know what I mean? It's the same inevitable people that like are so close-minded and act like what they say is what goes, and it's just a never-ending loop. Cause like I'm guilty of doing that thing. It was like way back in Brawl going into Smash 4 probably. Like I thought Pac-Man wasn't gonna be in, but then when I saw him, I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. What the heck? I never expected this. I thought it was never possible, and lo and behold, it's like you can never say it's impossible when it comes to Smash Bros. And Sakurai, because like Ridley happened. Lots of people said it wasn't possible for him. People said K. Rool was impossible. Look what happened there. People said Cloud was impossible. See, I'm repeating the same shit I said in my DLC prediction video, but there are people who comment and bring up points that I literally address in the first 5 minutes. They don't watch the video because they're so ignorant they don't listen or pay attention. They just care about their own personal beliefs. They only care about their own personal, like, view, that they don't give a shit about the bigger picture, about the actual potential. Because how many times has Smash broke norms and rules fans have made before? And people are still doing the same thing that we've been doing this, like, for the past decade? Like, what? I may sound condescending or, like, kind of cynical when I do this, but, like, you still get the same people. I think Arlo literally made a video about this, like, hours ago. They act like they know how Smash works. They act like they know how Sakurai works. They act like they know how these other people they've never met in their entire lives will make these games. They know how DLC works, and they know a lot more than you. They act like they know a lot more than you. But that's the thing, they just act like it. Like, no one ever said Spirits deconfirmed characters. Literally, no one ever said Spirits deconfirmed characters. I'm going off on a whole tangent right now. But like, oh, Rosalina, Yoshi, and Bowser are in a raft spirit. There's like 10 different spirits that have Mario in it. It's a different power-up, but it has Mario in it. K. Rool has different costumes, but it's a different spirit. It doesn't count. But like, because of the fact that like Geno has a spirit, or Rayman, that completely deconfirms the character. It's not like they could just make a whole new render for the character or use a pre-existing one in Rayman's case and just slap it as the character's fighter spirit. Like, no. Sakurai said spirits deconfirm a character. I know, because he said it, even though he never actually did in a direct. Spirits were just meant to deconfirm. I'm probably going to put this in its whole other video. I apologize for going off on a whole other tangent. But like, you know where I'm getting at with those types of people, right? Like, you ever come across the one person who like acts like such a know-it-all, like the kid, like the meme. That, it's just so annoying. Cause like, Sora can definitely happen. I know for a fact Sora can happen. It's just a matter of Sakurai saying yes or no. Like, you know for a fact Geno could still probably happen. It's just, we don't know the basis for Nintendo's like DLC characters. And now because I bring up Geno, people are gonna bring up, oh, you want Geno so bad, and I'm like sucking the Grinch leaker's dick or whatever. Like those kinds of people. I think you guys know what I get by now. It's just so annoying because people love to assume. That's where it all comes down to. Just people assuming shit. Just assuming all these things. And it's never concrete, it's never official, it's never accurate, it's never 100% official. It's annoying. It's people acting like they know everything and they don't. So they look like the biggest jackass on the earth. The rumor points to Erdrick. This direct points to Edelgard because of Fire Emblem Three Houses. But with the recent success that is Kingdom Hearts, I'm still supporting my original belief that Edelgard, some Fire Emblem character, is going to be in the game, but my mind's telling me Edelgard. My heart is telling me Sora. Because Sora would honestly be really freaking cool. That would be so freaking cool. I know nothing about Kingdom Hearts 2, but like, I'd be so hyped if Sora came in. That'd actually be one of the best reveals to come out of this direct. So, the biggest obstacle for me is like dodging online for like an hour basically. These are my general predictions for the direct. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Also, let me just say right now, if you reasonably expect otherwise, that's fine. Like, there's one thing to doubt another character, but like there's one thing to have like an entirely different opinion. It's one thing if you feel you disagree, but like you're not so close-minded that you think I'm stupid, or you think that like you're so right, or you're just acting like condescending or cynical, right? It's just those people who do act cynical, who say you're an idiot, who say you don't know anything, who say like they know how it works, or they give the reasoning for it, yet you give a proper counter argument, or you address the same point the person makes, so their point makes no sense. It's not a good reason. That's another thing. But I'm probably gonna put this in this whole video. I know Arlo did something similar to this, but like, I've been meaning to do this one for a while. It's specifically spirits. We'll see what happens in this direct. We'll see what happens. But I think there's plenty of things that could come out of this direct, and it has potential of being a really good direct. I'm pleasantly excited. I just wish I didn't have class in the middle of it. But thank you guys for listening and watching, and I'll see you guys when I give my reaction and potentially a thoughts discussion video after the direct. Stay super.